It's too much at stake.
If they come for you, you damn sure make them work for it. I say no, move.
Okay, I see. You guys thought you was about to just watch Lovecraft Country last night and then fall fast asleep, right? Am I right? Psych.
Ain't no sleeping. Enter the Jig-a-Bobo.
What it is, what it do, you guys? It's the one and only Caped Informer, back for another much needed breakdown of episode 8 of Lovecraft Country, Jig-a-Bobo. Guys, this episode was violently emotional, horrifying, exhilarating, and everything in between. I don't even know where to start. However, you all can start by tapping on that subscribe button. We are only an episode left before the finale, and I definitely need you all here to break it down with me, especially if you're coming from the Facebook group. Okay, so damn near the whole cast showed out in this episode. However, the most flowers must be given to the young Jada Harris, who portrays Deanna, or Dee, Hippolyta's daughter. Speaking of Hippolyta, after the events of last week's episode, she is still nowhere to be found, and to make matters worse, Dee's close friend Bobo, aka Emmett Till, has been brutally murdered by 2 white men, a non-fiction story many of us know all too well. This was so impactful, I feel like, as in this highly fictitious world of sorcery, magic, and mystical creatures, the show tells us that horrors of our country's past still wouldn't stand the test of it all. Anyways, throughout this episode, Dee is tasked with making sense of it all by herself, because honestly, to be fair, everyone else has their own issues to worry about right now, you know? We're 2 episodes left in the show, Dee. You've missed a lot. Her problems eventually do truly become her own after she's cursed by Police Captain Lancaster after they interrogate her about the whereabouts of her mother. The spell is put on her by using Lancaster's spit, which was difficult to watch on a multitude of levels. However, this prevents her from telling anyone else about the conversation they had, and also makes 2 Jigaboo apparitions pursue her for the entirety of the episode. They are inspired by the book cover of Uncle Tom's Cabin we see dropped in the bathroom when she tries to get away from Montrose. Topsy and Bopsy were the characters they took the likeness of. They were perfectly chilling and represent a dark history of racism and anti-blackness that played an important theme in this episode. I really can't give enough props to the actresses that portrayed them. The makeup, their movements, all done to perfection. After a long, tumultuous mental battle of running away from them, at the end of the episode, we see Dee face off with them with a metal bar. Montrose finally finds her, and of course, he can't see that she's actually fighting anything, or if she's winning, but he grabs her in order to console her, and all the while we see her wrists being cut from their claws. So no one else can see them, but they can do her harm and potentially kill her, which really made them all the more terrifying for me. In this episode, it appears Dee wasn't the only one facing demons, as Letty gets an unexpected visitor that, I was personally happy to see again, but I'm sure she wasn't. Gia comes and spills the beans about Atticus's past and what she saw in his future. And on top of that, Letty has contrived that Gia has taken this long trip from South Korea to warn Atticus once again, just because she loves him. Needless to say, on top of the pregnancy that she still hasn't told Atticus about, she's stressed and feels like her and Atticus are completely exposed. This prompts her to meet with Christina at a church, where she asks her to put an invulnerability spell on Atticus. However, she instead gives it to her. Christina also meets with Ruby at the beginning of the episode as William, which results in an incredibly, I don't know what to call it, but I couldn't look away. Ruby ends up taking the potion to turn her into a white woman again, and while she's arriving to her peak, she starts to shed her white skin again, and my god, the effects were exquisite in this. They speak shortly after, Christina as herself this time, and Ruby confronts her to see if she can feel any remorse about Emmett Till. She responds no, and we can feel her honesty. So this later prompts her to hire 2 white men to brutalize her in the same way Emmett Till was and push her into a lake, in which she arises just a moment later alive because of the invulnerability spell and also uncontrollably sobbing. The ending was mad, but let's touch on the conversation between Montrose and Atticus, something I feel like they should have had a long time ago. Aside from Atticus telling his father that after going through the portal last week, Atticus brought back a book titled Lovecraft Country, written by a George Freeman. He believes the author to be his son and believes he was sent to the future. This book ends with Christina's character sacrificing him to become immortal. He also reveals that he was only there for a moment before he was pushed back into the portal by a woman with a robot arm. This conversation, however, is followed by one where Montrose tells Atticus that he was prompted to hide his sexuality after he witnessed a pastor who was caught having sex with another man, sent to an asylum, and lobotomized. He clearly didn't want that future for himself, so he decided to have a family with Atticus's mother instead. This brings more clarity to the relationship his mother had with Uncle George, who appeared to truly be in love, but to help protect their friend Montrose, they decided to sacrifice a possible future together. Anyways, the two later worked together to cast a spell on Atticus to help protect him and his future family. Back at Letty's house, she's approached by Captain Lancaster and a whole unit of policemen. After realizing he can't enter because of the spell around the house, he has the whole unit empty the clip on her boarding house. And I mean the whole clip. They lit that place up, but thanks to Letty's new invulnerability spell, she was able to repel the bullets. Atticus shows up, assesses the scene, and rushes in to help. Before one of the cops fires a shot at him, and before Letty can reach and save him, a Shoggoth, one of those crazy looking creatures from the first episodes, pops up in front of him to stop the bullet. It rips through the entire police squad before stopping at Atticus and Letty, where he realizes that the spell he cast actually did work, but at what cost? Anyways guys, another incredible episode. I'm still in awe. Probably need to go watch it again, but before I do, please leave me your thoughts on this episode below in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and I'll catch you all, my Lovecraft Country fam, next week for episode 9. Peace!